Well, hello and welcome to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection since 1991. Thanks so much for joining us on this Friday, February 10th, 2017. I'm Pete Connor, your host, and I think we've got a twofer today. This is the way it's turned out. Is we're going to have two guests, but we're going to have them both talk about the two topics that we have with us. We've got Mike Jensen, who, by the way, represents Tri-M Graphics, a valued sponsor of Owatonna Today, will help us to know more about CulturFest and the World Food and Brewfest event coming up. And then also Laura Resler, Executive Director of the Owatonna Foundation, which is also a sponsor of Owatonna Today, will join in the conversation about the Brewfest, as will Mike talk about Owatonna Foundation. So that's going to be an interesting conversation on both of those events coming up. And before we move on, though, we should take some time to, as we speak of valued sponsors, talk about our sponsors today. We'd like to recognize our premier sponsors, who would be the City of Owatonna, Express Employment Professionals, Owatonna Public Utilities. Our primary sponsors, Amy Swain Hearing Centers, Anytime Fitness, Fairway Foods, Little Theater of Owatonna, and the Owatonna Foundation. Our interlude sponsors, Bremer Bank, Brenda Bednar Mortgage Office, Cedar Valley Services, Glenn Mager and Michael Mager of the Brick Mager Funeral Home and Medford Funeral Home, Carlson Branstad and Company CPAs, ERA Gillespie Real Estate, Fairview Animal Medical Center, Horizon Eye Care, Owatonna Area Business Development Center, Steele County Historical Society, Steele County Transitional Housing, the Third Hand Video Productions, Tri-M Graphics, and TPS Insurance. We hope that you will support these wonderful Owatonna businesses and the ones that support Owatonna Today. Please say thanks to them when you see them out and around. And we also are able to continue because of sponsors like these. And if you know of anyone, or if you are potentially a sponsor of the show, please give Leanne a call at 390-5751. And now we'll take a short break to highlight some of our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Brenda with the Mortgage Office of Brenda Bednar, aligned with American Mortgage and Equity Consultants, where closings feel right from the beginning. I'm a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Greetings from the Steele County Historical Society. We invite you to visit us and enjoy your county's history at the History Center and Village of Yesteryear. Check our website for current exhibits and monthly programs.
Well, welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. And welcome to Mike Jensen and Laura Resler, who will be together talking about the Owatonna Foundation and the Brewfest upcoming. And we're first going to be talking about the foundation, and Mike is appropriate to be here to that because he is a trustee of the Owatonna Foundation, and of course Laura is the executive director. And anyway, welcome.
Well, good morning.
Yeah, welcome to have you here. And so first off, let's talk. How long have you been in the
At the
role
foundation?
of ED?
It's a year and a half now.
Wow.
And before we get started, I do want to thank Express Employment Services for giving us this spot today to help promote the foundation. We appreciate that.
Excellent,
But a year and a half, and it's been wonderful, and I get to work with 35 trustees, Mike being one of them. Mm-hmm. And right now we're just in the process of, we just did our thank you insert, which is in production, and will be going out in the paper in a few weeks. We had 464 donors this past year, and close to $300,000 that was raised, which was actually $50,000 more than last year.
Wow.
So, it's been wonderful, and we're so appreciative of the public and the community for being supportive of the foundation.
Owatonna Foundation is us.
It is us.
It's an us organization.
It is. It's our community foundation.
And therefore we, for those who would say we as a contributor, would say that we then are the recipient of our contribution.
Right, because truly, I think everybody that lives in Owatonna has been touched by the foundation at some point, with the projects that have been supported. Since 1958, $11.75 million contributed back to the community. So it's been a significant, force in getting things done. And it's kind of exciting now. I just want to touch on Owatonna Forward, which is people are starting to hear more about that. And I encourage folks to take their community survey, because I think, Mike, this is a way that we can look to the future for projects for the foundation. The community will give input, and then hopefully from that we'll see new projects develop,
Sure.
that will enhance Owatonna.
Absolutely. Well, good. And those are coming up, and we've announced those over time. Mike, your role as a director, or a trustee, I guess is the proper word, has been of what duration?
I've been on, I believe, is it 3 years?
No, it's longer than that.
Oh, longer. Longer than that. Seems like 3 years.
Yeah, I think it's been longer, but
Probably longer
who's
than
counting?
that. I don't, when I volunteer or, sign up for things like that, I don't necessarily look at the year or the time span, because I truly understand that it's an investment back in the community, much to your earlier comment of, it is us. And those that came before me did a lot of great work to make a lot of things possible for me and my family. So it's time now for me to, take some time to invest in, to make a difference, hopefully for future generations.
I have to just butt in here and say, as far as I'm concerned, if we want something to get done community-wise, I think you're one of the stem winders. You're a go-to person. And I think that's recognizable all around. I mean, you're going to talk about this CulturFest thing that you've been involved in forever. And so many other things that you are involved in to make them happening things. And I just want to say on behalf of our viewers, certainly, and on the greater community, thank you for that. It does. These things don't happen automatically.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm humbled by that. It's truly a labor of love, and it's something that I would hope that more in the community would take that step or that initiative to invest themselves into the community, invest themselves, whether it's Owatonna Foundation or something else that's near and dear to their heart.
There is something for everyone.
There is something for everyone. Invest yourself into that because it makes a difference in the lives of those around us. I mean, I think earlier we talked about one of the Owatonna Foundation projects that we were able to help, I believe it was last year, was to help with the roofing on the Hospitality House, which you're a part of and have invested some energy and time.
Exactly.
And I think that from that, this community is benefiting, and a lot of individuals are benefiting from that as well.
You take it away, and we don't know what would happen if we took it all away.
Right.
If we took the foundation away, if we took Hospitality House away, we don't know what our community would look like.
Well,
we can project maybe, but.
Well, you look around the community, things that the foundation has partnered with, the Arts Center, the History Center, Parks and Trails. One of the first projects that came around was Rube Kaplan bought property, then donated it to the county through the foundation. That was one of the very first things. And that's now, the Parks and Trails system over by Morehouse.
Sure.
So, it started a long time ago, and it's shaped our community and who we are.
Well, and it's interesting. I was just out on an ambassador visit with the Chamber of Commerce yesterday, and there was an individual that we were meeting with, a new manager to town at one of the businesses, and her very first comment to us was, "I love the parks and the trails system." Well, that wouldn't be possible if it weren't for the foundation. So someone new coming to town, that was helping to be a deciding factor of where they lived and what they wanted to do, and looking at the whole of the community.
Exactly. And I think as we look at benefactors, the benefactors of the foundation are not people who, let's say, are well-heeled or who have earned their wealth. They're people off the street. They're in the neighborhoods, and they're so very important as well. Whatever contributions can be made
exactly.
are utterly important.
Whether it's $5 or $5,000, every contribution helps. And really, by pooling those resources together, that enables us to do these bigger projects and make a bigger impact. So, we're so appreciative of, there's some people that just always send us their memorials,
Sure.
And that all adds up and makes a difference.
Right.
Well, I think part of what we're seeing in the community is a transition of giving or funding of various organizations, including the Owatonna Foundation. Historically, in the day when it was founded or started, there were a number of very successful founding fathers of this community that would cut significant checks to make it all possible. I think the foundation before my time had some foresight to realize that's transitioning, that's changing. There aren't those folks with those kinds of checkbooks in this community necessarily anymore. So we need to now pull together as a community to continue that legacy on, to continue moving that forward. And that's been part of the success of the organization, is really that continual reach out, that continual building relationships. When we were doing Foundation Week last October, one of the projects that we had, or an event that we had, was this photograph project where people would chase around town trying to find out different pictures and what foundation projects were a part of that. And when people turned those in, it amazed me the number of people that said, I didn't know that was a foundation project.
Right.
I didn't know the Owatonna Foundation had impact on that. There were a lot of comments like that. So as much as we try and get out there, we still haven't reached everyone yet.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, that's why it's a continuing enterprise, because that's part of the objective, is to widen the audience, if you want to say.
Right,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
And we talked about the hospitality house roof, and by the way, another one that the foundation, with respect to the HHO, was some other work inside just recently, not all that long ago, again, for which we are very appreciative. What other projects come to mind that we can talk about?
This past year, we funded some fireproof doors and walls at St. Mary's School. That is a huge community resource where it's not just the school, but it's used for community ed and scouting and things. And so in the interest of public safety, we funded those doors because they had some structural issues with their floor. And so we funded that. Owatonna Business Development Center, they needed some key fobs for tenants coming in and out, so we funded those. We did Hospitality House for some improvements to your living facilities and that. So that's just a few. We did some more improvements at the Village of Yesteryear. And then we did the track timer for OHS. That was so the girls could have it's a fully automated track timing system that we funded for them.
So it doesn't have to be, great tens of thousands of dollars. It's relatively inexpensive when you think about it. But the organizations don't have themselves the resources.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. And some of the projects are larger, and we've got some inkles for ones coming up, and we're excited to see what May 1st brings.
Wow, that's wonderful. Yeah, that's really wonderful. Well, this has been great to have you here. We're going to take a quick break. We'll look at some sponsor messages again. And then we get to come right back to you, and we're going to.
And here we'll be here again.
And you'll be
We're
right here, just
different
looking like you did. So
yes.
Great. Thanks for that for now, and we'll be back in just a minute. And stay with us, please, as we wait for our sponsors to.
Looking for that perfect birthday party idea for your child? I have exactly what you're looking for: a pool or gym party at the West Hills Tennis and Fitness Center. Hi, this is Brad. Contact me today at 774-7102 to schedule the party every child will love. Birthday party packages are available year-round. West Hills Tennis and Fitness Center, encouraging and promoting a healthy lifestyle.
Hello, I'm Glenn Mager.
And I'm Michael Mager with the Brick Mager Funeral Home and the Medford Funeral Home. At Brick Mager, we are privileged to have served the families of Steele County community for 118 years.
Whether you choose traditional burial or cremation, we promise the tribute your loved one deserves with the peace of mind that you require.
We are proud to be part of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, this is Barry Gillespie, president of ERA Gillespie Real Estate, where our pledge is to save you money, save you time, and simplify your life. And we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hello, my name is Katie Marshall. A year ago, my family and I became homeless. We were scared and alone. Today, with the help of Steele County Transitional Housing and generous donors like you, my family and I are safely housed. I am working, going to college, paying my rent on time. My children have a warm bed to sleep in every night. My family and I are so grateful for this second chance. Please help others in need by donating to transitional housing today. Everyone deserves a safe place to live.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. Well, guess who's back? Laura and Mike. This time, a couple of hams to boot. So this is segment number 2 with the folks. We're going to talk about CulturFest, and we're going to talk about the upcoming event of Food and Brewfest, which is a partnership or a collaborative effort with the foundation.
No. Historical Society.
Sorry,
sorry, Pete.
Society. Yeah, you know,
I wear that hat too.
I was going back to your old days.
Yes,
That's what was the problem.
Back to the past.
So, well, anyway.
Well,
Mike,
see, it's all Mike's fault because, you know, I've always loved working with the CulturFest committee when I was in my previous position.
Right.
And he said, well, I have an opportunity for you. When Mike comes and says he has an opportunity, maybe that's the time you turn and run, but I didn't.
Right,
and so now we're on the CulturFest committee together.
Well,
And she's enjoyed the ride.
I've enjoyed the ride.
Mike, CulturFest has been around for a long time, and it is basically the residual of the group that was once known as the Cultural Diversity Network.
Right. That title still remains. That's our operating organization. CulturFest is really focused on one singular event, the 4th Saturday in September. It's a multicultural outdoor festival providing the community of Owatonna the opportunity, and the region, the opportunity to come together and celebrate our differences, celebrate our heritage, celebrate our ancestry. And we do that through music, through food, through dance, through demonstrations, handcrafts. We have a whole passport program for children, sports, activities, animals. Typically we'll have about 2,500 people out for CulturFest in September. So it's an absolutely fun way to celebrate. And it's really been fun for us as people come from various communities outside of Owatonna and look at it and say, man, short of like the Metro, Minneapolis, which does, what's their big one up there? Can't think of it right now. Anyway, huge events up there. You don't find it out in rural Minnesota or rural areas. So we're very fortunate to have that opportunity. And I think you were fairly instrumental. Festival of Nations. But I think you were fairly instrumental in helping organize and get CDN or Cultural Diversity Network off the ground.
Because we were 2000 or 1995 actually.
Right.
Because we had a group that came together. It was a task force, and it was just, what do you think? And
Well, I think the face of the community was changing, and you guys recognized that. Much like we talked about before, there were people before me that helped notice those things, and it's been fun to jump on and be able to help carry that ball forward.
And without going into any political realm or whatever, but at least in current times, we this whole issue of diversity and this whole issue of welcoming and this whole issue of finding commonality is really hot. It's a hot topic these days. So and what impact that's having on Owatonna, I don't know. But anyway, the CulturFest is going to be a wonderful thing again when it comes in September. But prior to that, we've got
as a lead in to that. That's a very expensive event to put on. To bring in professional performers, to bring in all of the things that we do, it takes an investment, it takes some dollars. And the business community in Steele County has been absolutely incredible to step up to the plate and make a difference. This event, Around the World Food and Brewfest, is also another way that people have been able to participate and help us raise some dollars for the festival, as well as for the Historical Society, because we do this as a joint operation together, providing both people. The Historical Society provides the space for us. It's at the History Center, as well as some volunteers and some input on the foods and that sort of thing. And the CulturFest committee kind of takes the lion's share of really helping make sure everything is together and works and happens with the event.
How often have you had this?
This event is, I want to say this is about our 7th year. Okay. The first 3 years we picked specific countries. It was German Brewfest, Irish Brewfest, English Brewfest or something like that. And then I think it was Laura who actually, broached the idea of how about we just do an around the world type of event. And so then we brainstormed from there and combined the Brewfest with the around the world sort of theme. And each year we change up the countries that are represented.
Okay. So again, we should make sure we know that it's February 17th. So it's
a week from today.
A week from today, and it'll be at the History Center, and it's open to anyone. 21, I suppose.
21 and older because of the alcohol component.
Yeah.
With the event itself, it's $25, so it's really reasonable. And what you get with that is we have 6 different meal or food stations set up representing 6 different countries, and then we have a station that represents 3 additional countries that are the desserts. And so this year we have England, the Netherlands, and Spain will be our dessert countries.
Wow.
We're doing... we learned it wasn't hot chocolate. It has another name, and I can't think of it right now.
Yeah, we better not say what it is.
I'll probably say it wrong.
We promise it'll be delicious.
But it sounded absolutely phenomenal. It's a
Yeah.
chocolate type of drink is part of that. Then the Netherlands is it's a cookie that has a filling in the middle. And then for England, we're doing a...
Trifle. English trifle.
English trifle for the dessert components of the event. So each year that changes, and so what happens is for the admission, you get to go and sample something from each of those 6 countries plus the desserts for your experience. And just, I mean, as an example, Scotland is the Scottish eggs, Germany is the bratwurst from Steve's Meat Market, combined with homemade sauerkraut, which is to die for. USA, we're doing a mac and cheese. Italy is...
Pasta fagioli soup.
And Laura's the...
Pasta fagioli.
And Laura's the lead on that, and she brought some in for us to sample. Oh my gosh, it was phenomenal. India is a curry. It's a curry chicken. Nordic region is herring. So I've already traded off my chance for herring for more mac and cheese. So,
but does Jensen kind of belie that there's some Norwegian in there?
There is, but that's not probably one of at the top of my list. And then we talked about the desserts. So some incredible food. So yes, the Brewfest is part of the title, but let me tell you, we have a lot of people that come, don't drink anything, and have a phenomenal experience just with the food alone.
Sure.
The drinks itself, when we move over to that side of the fence, it's a Brewfest, and we have 8 home brewers that will be there. Each of them bring a number of their brews, and the public gets to go around and sample those, and then they judge for their favorite. So it's a bit of a competition. So you'll get a chance to sample all of their brews. And it's kind of fun watching them. They're actually this year doing their own private competition as well amongst just the brewers. And they've picked, I think it's a creamy stout is what their choice is. And the public doesn't get to vote on this. They'll get to sample it, but they don't get to vote on it. The brewers themselves get to vote amongst themselves to see who has the best stout, or they think is the best stout. So they're looking forward to that little competition as well. The other thing that we've added this year at the bar, because we do have a full bar with wines, beers, and sodas for people. So if you're not into alcohol, you have other options. We're doing some flights where you'll get 4 different beers that you can sample. Because if you've come to a bar, sometimes you're like, oh, I wish I could try that one, but I don't want to get a whole can, So you can do a flight. And so we'll have some flights available for people to try some things and stretch themselves. And most of those beers have ties back to different countries or ethnicity, that sort of thing.
Okay.
I've been talking a lot, but I have one more thing quickly to share.
I don't even know why I stayed for the second segment, honestly.
That's kind of how it goes. From the homebrewer standpoint, I think a lot of people have wanted to try Mineral Spring Brewing Company's wares, Matt Kotke and his whole group. They're going to be a part of it this year. So we're so excited to have them be a part of it and give more people a chance to try and evaluate their brews to see if it's up to the standards of the others.
And Matt has said that every batch has a little bit of Mineral Springs water in it.
How about that?
It might not be a lot, but that is part of their tradition.
Their formula.
Not only is it good for pickles, but it's also good for beer.
There we go. Oh, goodness. So it is just a fun event. There's really no set entertainment. There's no set, program that you have to be a part of. Come, enjoy yourself. The one thing I will share with you, though, is this thing sells out.
Okay.
So by today, we're probably close. I haven't checked numbers lately, but we're probably getting pretty close. So act quickly
Get
to
in
get
early.
your tickets.
Yeah.
Right.
And you got to get them ahead.
And Cocky's has them. you
Kotke
know.
has them, the Historical Society has them, Tri-M has them, or you can get them online.
Okay.
Either at culturefest.org or at the Historical Society's website too, steelhistorymuseum.org.
Yeah. Just, I mean, it's just sort of like these things that we have available to us. And, you miss a little, you miss a lot, as the saying goes, so it's an opportunity for all of us, I guess.
Yep, we don't want to miss it next Friday, February 17th, at the History Center, and $25 per person, around the World Food and Brewfest. Get your tickets like now.
Excellent. Well, this is wonderful, and this is the iteration of having you both for both segments was just it was great. It worked out very well. So thank you. Thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having us.
And thank you for staying here with us. We're going to do some announcements.
We're going to do commercial
We're going to do commercial first. Yes, okay, and then we'll come back and do some announcements. Stay with us.
Amy Swain Hearing Centers is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Dr. Amy Swain, and I want everyone to hear better.
Hi, I'm Tim Anderson, the owner of Anytime Fitness, where we make getting healthy affordable and convenient. Anytime Fitness is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. Some announcements to bring us to the end of our day. Allina Health is implementing
Hi, I'm Dr. Beth
guidelines
Giltfit.
at all its hospitals to protect all patients, visitors, and staff due to influenza. Children under the age of 5 are asked not to visit patients, and visitors who are sick should refrain from visiting patients in the hospital. At all times, please cover your cough, and please wash your hands or use the antibacterial hand cleanser that is provided throughout the facility. Steele County Historical Society is holding the Language of Love candlelight tour of Donnell House on Tuesday, February 14th. Each guest receives a complimentary appetizer, gets complimentary appetizers and a bottle of champagne. A cash bar will also be available. Doors open at 5:30 and the first tour beginning at 6 p.m. with tours every 15 minutes. Tickets are $35 per person and are available online at Eventbrite. Owatonna Forward invites the community to share their vision for Owatonna at public input sessions being held at the Owatonna Public Utilities Morehouse Room on Wednesday, February 15th, 6 to 7:15 p.m. and on Tuesday, February 21st, noon to 1:15 p.m. DIY Youth Night, sponsored by Habitat for Humanity, will be from 6 to 7:30 p.m. in the old Walmart building, which is on Hoffman Drive, and it will be an opportunity for kids to come and to learn how to build things, do some trade work, and that will be wonderful. Registration is required, limited space available. Reserve your spot by calling 507-446-0112. And across the world, and we've just done talking about it, the World Food and Brewfest, a joint event with CulturFest and Steele County Historical Society, again on Friday, February 17, 2017, at the Steele County History Center. A Prelude to a Kiss by Craig Lucas, a play produced by Little Theater of Owatonna. Craig Berg is the artistic director, Mary Butler Fraser, technical director. February 17, 18, 24, 25, 2017 at 7:30 p.m. A matinee on the 19th and the 26th at 2 o'clock p.m. And that is going to take care of it for us today. Please do come back on Monday when we'll have in studio Don Rudd. We'll talk about Girl Scout cookies and Little Theater's upcoming winter production, Prelude to a Kiss. Take care, and I hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for being with us.